In this video, let us look at the amendment related to the Essential Commodities Act 1955. This comes in our EBCL. So now why we should know this amendment? This is related to exam and also it is related to the present COVID-19 crisis. So what was the problem and why we have amended the Essential Commodities Act? See, there was a lot of hoarding of stocks. What stocks? See, now when we had this pandemic, that is COVID-19, it has led to lot of shortages and overpricing of obviously hand sanitizers and masks because this is most essential in this kind of a crisis. So what is an essential commodity as per the Essential Commodities Act? So what was the problem? We had a huge shortage suddenly of all the hand sanitizers and masks. So now in the act, what essential commodities? They simply say essential commodities, any commodity which is as per the schedule. That's all. They don't go more in detail. Before that, we should understand the simple English meaning. What does the word essential mean in English? So if you look at it, it says a thing that is absolutely necessary. A thing that is absolutely necessary. That is the noun. Even if you look at the adjective, it says absolutely necessary, extremely important. So something which is very, very important is essential. So essential commodities is something which we need, absolutely which we need. So you cannot do without that. It is that kind of a thing. And right now, you cannot do without masks and also hand sanitizers. Correct? This is the problem which we are facing. What is what we call as a basic need? This is the basic need right now. So what happened is the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, not Ministry of Corporate Affairs, which we usually deal with, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. That is our government of India. So what they said, let us have an order. Let us have an order which will give the essential commodities list up to 30th June 2020. So they are basically adding to the schedule. They're adding some items. What items? Very simple. They're adding the masks and hand sanitizers as essential. So now this is as per the order till 30th June. It may extend, we don't know, it may extend for some more months, but generally it is essential during the crisis. So we have 2-ply mask, 3-ply mask, surgical mask, these are the technical words. N95 mask, this is the most popular one, right? So all these items are now called as essential commodities after this amendment. So I have been doing this series where all the COVID amendments, so because of this new pandemic, because of a health crisis, how it is amending all the laws, especially corporate laws. So you can go to the description box and look at the playlist. We have all the videos. Now before that, we should go back to the basics. So basically, what is the Act of Essential Commodities? So it says, in the interest of general public, for the control of production, supply, distribution of and trade and commerce in certain commodities. So what are they doing? They are trying to control. The important word here is control. This act will control production, supply and distribution of certain commodities which we call as essential commodities. Correct? So now, when do we do that? At the times of shortage. It could be war, it could be like this pandemic, or it could be any other situation where there is a shortage. And why do we do it? To protect the consumers against unreasonable prices and exploitative prices. So people are simply telling one hand sanitizer which will cost 50 rupees, they're telling 500 rupees. So they're misusing the position. That is why government has to come in and protect. So how does it have, that is the government, how does it have powers to add things into the schedule? So we have this masks and hand sanitizers, right? And the schedule will give the list of the essential commodities. So it is very simple. The central government under the act has the powers. They can add any new items to the schedule when the need arises. So the important word for us to know is need. And now there is definitely a need because everybody needs these basic things like masks, and to wash the hands you need the hand sanitizers, correct? So now government can add these new items to the schedule and call it as essential because there is a need, right? And if this crisis is over, or when the crisis is over, they can remove these items from the schedule and they can tell that no more masks and hand sanitizer essential. But right now they are, and right now they're telling it is till June 30th 2020, not forever. This date most likely will get extended by few more months till the crisis is over. Depends, no one can tell. Now, before that, as a student of CS, as a student of EBCL, as a student of this act, you should know generally what this act talks about with respect to the essential commodities. What does this act say is essential, right? Fertilizers, cereals, pulses, sugar, edible oils that which you'll eat, petroleum products, drugs and medicines. These are generally called. So now we are going to add masks and we are going to add hand sanitizer. So here only thing is this is temporary as of now because there is a sudden demand. Later these items can even be removed from this list, right? That is what you have to understand. So now with this amendment, what can the government do? Now because this amendment is that the government can intervene, that is they can go into any situation and they can poke their nose in simple words and they can regulate. So intervene and regulate. What can they intervene and regulate? They can intervene, regulate the supply, pricing, and they can tell what is the maximum stock holding limit, how much stock you can hold, how many. Okay, you can have only 10,000 as a wholesaler, you can have only 100 sanitizer bottle as a retailer. So they can tell this. As a manufacturer, you cannot produce more than 1 lakh and then keep it in the stock. You have to immediately sell it because it is needed in the market, something like that. So to whom does this order apply? This applies to our wholesalers, our retailers, manufacturers and importers. So for all these four people, four class of people, not four people, four class of people, this order will apply. And they can be prosecuted if they don't comply, if they will hoard, correct? If they hide it, if they hoard it, it is a violation of the act. It is a violation of the Essential Commodities Act. They can be prosecuted and even sent to jail for up to 7 years. Not 7 years, up to 7 years. This is quite serious. So now government can raid, confiscate, auction or sell any of the masks, correct, or the hand sanitizers if they are hoarding or hiding. Who? These wholesaler, retailers, manufacturer, importer. So that is how government will ensure that everybody gets these masks and hand sanitizers. So that was the video which is relating to the Essential Commodities Act, and as I told you, we have been covering all the amendments relating to the COVID and how India is facing this and how the corporate world is having these amendments. So in the previous videos I've already made many amendments. What are the 10 MC amendments? Then I told you about the limitation period, National Company Law Tribunal, CSR, and we'll continue to make these videos which is relating to the coronavirus and how everything is being affected. So we are calling this as the COVID-19 amendments. So this is a complete series. We have a playlist. You can watch all the amendments in the playlist. You can look at the description below. Thanks for watching and subscribe to Ekcel Academy, your one-stop solution for the CS course.